welcome to this deep dive. We're jumping straight into some really fascinating material.
Yeah, excerpts from something called Discipline Over Motivation, Why Feelings Don't Matter.
Right. And that title, it pretty much tells you we're going to be questioning a very common belief.
Absolutely. This piece, it actually comes from episode 4 of the 1% Shift podcast. And it really takes aim at that whole idea, that you have to feel motivated.
Or inspired, yeah.
Exactly, inspired to actually get things done.
It's that classic, I just don't feel like it excuse.
Yeah.
Right? That somehow that makes it okay not to act. So our mission today really is to unpack why just relying on motivation might actually be, well, a trap, according to this source anyway.
And then look at what it suggests instead. What's the more reliable path it puts forward for consistent action and actually making changes stick?
Okay, let's dig in. The source points out how often we wait for that burst of motivation.
Yeah, we tell ourselves things like, oh, I'll start working out when I, feel more energetic, or maybe I'll tackle that big project when I'm really feeling it, when I'm in the zone.
Oh, I definitely do that. It's so easy to fall into that pattern, just waiting for the quote-unquote right mood.
And what's interesting here, the source just lays it out very plainly. Motivation, it's just a feeling.
Like being happy, all frustrated.
Exactly. It's transient. It comes and goes. So trying to base consistent action on something that's inherently, unpredictable and fleeting.
It's just unreliable by definition.
That's the core argument. Yeah.
Okay, so if motivation is like the flaky friend who might bail on you,
Yeah.
what does the source say is the dependable one, the one you can count on?
Right, that would be discipline.
Okay.
But it's not presented as just gritting your teeth, brute force willpower.
Okay.
The material describes it more as making a decision once. You decide what you're going to do,
And then
you follow through on that decision consistently, regardless of your mood in the moment or, how you feel right then.
okay. Like deciding you're going to brush your teeth every morning and night.
Yeah.
You don't really debate it based on feelings, do you? You do it. It's the decided action.
That's a perfect analogy. And this distinction, the source argues, it separates sort of amateurs from pros, you could say.
How so?
Well, amateurs tend to be governed by how they feel. Professionals, they're governed by their decisions and their actions. They get that just showing up, doing the thing, that's what builds momentum and capability too.
But doesn't just deciding sometimes feel like you're constantly fighting yourself, your own feelings? How does the source suggest making discipline feel less like a daily battle?
Yeah, good question. And this is where it gets really practical, actually. It puts a huge emphasis on building systems.
Systems, like routines.
Sort of. A system is basically a process you follow. So when you set up a system, you kind of take away the need to decide whether to act each time.
Because you already decided when you built the system.
Exactly. You've pre-decided.
Okay, so it's about putting the process more on autopilot. So your feelings, your mood swings, they don't derail you as easily.
Precisely. You design the path once, carefully, and then your job is just to walk it.
You're sort of protecting your future self, your long-term goals, from your present self's moods.
That's a great way to put it. And a simple system, it could be, like the source mentions, just a fixed routine for starting your workday. Or maybe a rule like, okay, when I finish my last meeting, I immediately open the document for tomorrow's main task. Just for 15 minutes. No debate.
Those sound, well, systematic.
Yeah.
Not necessarily thrilling or inspiring.
And that's exactly the point. It isn't about inspiration. It's about making the action almost inevitable.
Okay.
You put the system in place because you decided it lines up with the results you want. Not because you suddenly feel a jolt of energy for it. It's the consistency built through these sometimes mundane actions that's actually incredibly powerful over time.
So bringing this back to you listening in, this deep dives, looking at this source, it really highlights that consistent progress seems to come from discipline.
Yeah, discipline that's built through reliable systems and, those decided actions, much more than from just waiting around for motivation to strike.
Which might never happen, or not when you need it.
Right. And there's a quote shared in the source material that just crystallizes this so well.
What is it?
It's, if you only work when you're motivated, you'll never be consistent. If you work when it's boring, hard, or uncertain, you become unstoppable.
Wow. Okay. That really shifts the focus, doesn't it? Away from your internal state, how you feel, towards your external habits, what you do. So thinking about this source's point, maybe a final thought for you listening. Where in your own life might you be kind of holding back, waiting for that right feeling to show up?
Instead of just deciding and maybe putting a really simple system in place to make it happen.
Yeah. It's definitely a powerful question to sit with.
It really is.
Yeah, absolutely. And that wraps up this deep dive for today.
If you loved this episode of the 1% Shift and want more bite-sized motivation to transform your life one small step at a time, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss an episode. And if you're ready to take the next step in your journey, click the video right here. It's packed with insights that will keep you growing, shifting, and showing up every day. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about getting 1% better every single day.